All right, guys, we'll call our city commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. September 15th, 2025. We've got a full board tonight, so we have a quorum and we can move into our agenda. So let's start with our pledge of allegiance. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first up, we got our minutes. These were our commission meeting minutes for September 2nd, 2025. I trust you guys have had a chance to look those over, and if everything looks good, we'll need a motion to approve them as written.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as posted. I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. We'll move to a vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, commissioners report. Oh, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Week off, I guess, or 2 weeks, been pretty good. We did have a kind of a community event per se. The tree event up at the dam did take place. There was a lot of assistance from the high school students, some of the faculty, some other citizens around town, some of the city guys. Had a really good turnout. So I'd like to send my big thank you to everyone that helped with that. It really went flawlessly. We definitely appreciate all the help. Definitely could not do it with everyone. Secondly, September 20th is Karen Vetch's exploratory dig on the water line we're gonna be doing. The parties that will be affected were notified in regards to the water. So that will be happening on the weekend, so it doesn't affect the schools. So I got, thanks.
Nothing much new for me since the last meeting. For those who didn't know, there's an open hearing for our 2026 budget that was at 6 o'clock. So other than that, really nothing new that pertains to my department. So that's all I got.
I was just gonna mention that water project as well, but that seems to be taken care of. So besides that, I don't have anything new at this time.
Yeah, I don't want to follow suit, but I was gonna triple down on the water project. That was something that we've been working on for a while, and I'm glad it's finally happening. Same thing with Jaden, though. We've put in a lot of work into this budget cycle. This is a pretty strong initiative to right size our 2026 budget, and I think we hit the mark across all boards. So I'll probably talk a little more about that once we get to new business, but that's all I have for now. All right, so modification or approval of the agenda. Is there anything you guys want to add, or do we want to run into this as is? Okay, we'll just need a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as posted.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the agenda as posted. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Motion carries. Okay, on to old business. Liz, yep, you see Liz.
Here I am. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to try to keep it brief because I tend to agree with what's been shared. The most prominent issue to my mind on the agenda this evening is the budget. I did just want to say for my part, obviously I'm not a policymaker, but Wendy did a tremendously good job. I will say in the time that I've been on the commission, this is probably really impressively the most organized and most clear effort at creating it. And she did that in her first year. And I think that deserves a hat tip. I mean, that's definitely a specialized skill and she did a wonderful job. And Wendy, I'll tell you, as a busy person, I double appreciated when you made revisions, you clarified what those were. And I just thought that was super helpful. So I will thank you because I like to know what's going on. And I think you did a wonderful job of articulating that and setting it out for us. So huge thanks. And I'll let the rest of the commission deal with the substance of it. I too am excited though. I think it'll be interesting to hear comments on that. As to other matters, I will let you know that legal counsel for KSI did follow up. They have sent a written letter from township leadership. The township leadership did indicate that provided that they are included, as we discussed in the process, they are not objecting to the de-annexation. They did mention in their letter that certainly, they have some concerns with regard to how that may impact their budgets. That's perfectly fair. I imagine that will be discussed in the course of those conversations. So to that end, I think they've met the threshold, and I'll defer to Wendy for scheduling KSI and or their counsel for further communications. There was a little bit of rockiness in the idea that they might have to compensate some of the city's expense, but frankly, the city's expense was lower than what I anticipated for investment into that project. And so I think that's probably a hurdle that'll clear once it's discussed and the kind of the full picture of this develops. So that's really good news. We're making progress there. Only other point of information that I wanted to share this evening that's per se legal is just a development in connection with the Benson Street matter. I'll let you know, again, things are chugging along well. I know we spoke about the fact that depositions were conducted in Tioga by some of our folks. We have another deposition set up for early October of a former city employee that may have information about that. So I'll keep you posted on that issue. But our defendant, who's TerraFlex, has pled in what's called another third-party defendant. That doesn't change our position, but if you're asked questions about that, or if the public has questions and they're trying to follow things on ND courts, all that means is that the person that we're suing as a result of those depositions has a good faith belief that they may be due some compensation from another party, but that doesn't affect us directly or frankly indirectly. But just to avoid confusion, because I know people watch the docket sometimes, that's the development if anyone sees anything there. I think that's all I have for this evening that's worth discussing. I'll be excited to hear the discussions on the budget, and I commend everyone who's, I know, worked hard to reach this point, and I'm quite hopeful. So.
Hey guys, questions for Liz? Okay, all good. Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on to new business. We got number 2, the big topic, the 2026 Tioga City budget. As you guys know, we had our budget hearing, our open hearing at 6 o'clock today. There weren't any questions, comments, or concerns with it. I think everything looks good. So we'll need a motion to approve the 2026 budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 city budget.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the 2026 Tioga City budget. Is there any discussion on that? I want to talk just a little bit about it and try not to bore you to death, but as we talked about in the open hearing, I just kind of ran some statistics. So to run our city through the general fund, 2024, our actuals were $2.747 million. That's just to run our city. The estimated budget for 2025 was a little over 3 million, 3.021 million. And then our suggested budget for 2026 is 3.101 million. That is a huge number. But look what we get out of the deal. Our city's clean, our city's safe, it's fun, it's enjoyable. It costs a lot of money to run a city the way we're running it, which is top-notch, phenomenal. I'd like to say that we have a hand in it, but the majority we know is our employees. So one of the expenses that really made a pretty significant uptick was mid, mid 2024. They had a motion to approve like full benefits, family plans for employees, plus retirement. And that made quite a heavy uptick, and every last bit of it was worth it, in my opinion. It is so important to take care of employees, but at the same time, we have to be fiscally responsible. So to Liz's point, to I think everybody's point, we had to get creative on the budget, like cut back, focus on the important things, cut back on some of the stuff that was, I wouldn't say wasteful spending, but it was things we could do without. One of the reasons why we had to really, really dig into this year is our revenue over under expenditures is projected to be at minus 2.325 million. So the easy way to put that is we make X amount in property tax, make some money in sales tax. It doesn't even come remotely close to what it costs to run the city the way we're running the city. So that is all offset by oil and gas impact money, gross production tax. We're in a very, very good financial position right now, but I'm also very aware that if that oil and gas money starts dwindling off, which it is, but not to the effect where we need to be concerned, but we need to take the position that it's not going to be there forever. And we need to start dialing in our spending. I'll put it this way, I got some numbers. So since January of 2023, we've received $24,812,235.87 in oil and gas impact money. Big number. Since 2020, that was 42 million. Since 2015, it was 64 million. And then since January of 2005, we've received $73 million in gross production revenue. That doesn't really paint a good picture though, because from that period of January of 2005 till December of 2012, we only earned or received 1.364 million. So basically what that means is since 2013 till today, of that 73 million, we've received 71.582 million. Like we are bringing in a lot of money, which in my opinion is a gift. But at the same time, I know what's in our checking account and I know where the money's going, and it's going to operate the city the way we are. So what I guess what I'm getting at is we can't be so dependent on this oil and gas impact money, and we need to start curtailing our spending, which I think we're doing a good job of, without handicapping how we're running the city. So I hope those numbers are maybe eye-opening. I don't think a lot of people know how much money we've actually received from the state and this stuff. And so keep that, understand, that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're being very vigilant with our future, and we've got to start now. That was way too long-winded. Sorry, guys.
Right. What did you receive in 2024 and 2023? You went up to what, 2027 or 2017?
Since January of 23 to today.
Yeah.
$24,812,235.87. Well, that's just a 2-year period. So if you watch the trend, like those early years in like 2005, we were getting like 7,000-8,000 per quarter.
Yeah, that wasn't really the boom.
Yep. And then it started creeping up. And then next thing you know, we were in that 6, 8, 1.2 million month range. We're going down. We're down in that, what would you say, 600,000 range and dropping. Now, September is typically a pretty decent month. We'll
Production, or is that because of?
I think it's commodity prices are really driving it.
Well, the concerning part about this impact money is if anybody pays attention to the state legislation and what goes on there. When this oil impact money started to come out, it only went to a certain few things and those things grow into more things and the state is trying to spread that
Well,
good stuff out, spread the wealth out. So that could be concerning for us. That's why we need to try to be proactive in just trying to live more within our means because that's the expectation is the wealth to get spread around. So it's not necessarily about decrease in production, but probably more just along that lines. Is the way I see it.
It's fiscal end of year right now, everything. I mean, I've been in the oil field long enough, I understand that how that stuff works. And I understand exactly what you're saying too. It's easy to spend somebody else's money, but if you don't have it, you can't spend it. It's better to save it. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, and, you know, we do wanna save it, but we also don't wanna limit growth of the town, like, we wanna strike when the iron's hot. Right now, the iron's not very hot, that's a good opportunity to save some money. We had a big expense with the community center and what it's gonna cost to operate that, like, just perspective. With the note and the yearly operating expense, that's $1.6 million a year. It's 1.7 million. It's a big investment. It's an important investment and we are gonna protect it and keep the doors open so that everybody's grandkids get to enjoy it someday and
Yeah.
we just gotta make steps now.
And you're adding the note to that also.
That's the note too. Yep.
That's not to just operate it a year.
No,
I mean,
to,
eventually that note is gonna go away and operating costs are just gonna come out. Your operation costs are gonna go up too with the cost of everything else, with the cost of living. You're throwing out big numbers. Once stuff gets paid off, those numbers do fall down.
yeah, we are,
It's like buying a house. I mean, eventually your house payment stays the same, but you look at it, you're owning something and it will go down in 20 years. I don't know how long the note is.
10 years.
I mean, you're looking, and that's not very long.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I keep hearing like it's gonna be a long 10 years. Well, it doesn't have to be. We can make it a short 10 years. You know, if you guys remember, not that long ago, we still had a lot of years left on the original community center note. We saved. We paid it off.
Yeah.
Done. Long-term liability, gone. So now we can focus on this one. Be smart, be patient. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a long 10 years.
Buying a car.
Right.
I mean, they go bad, they go old. You end up buying another one and going from 10 years ago, a car was $8,000, now it's $68,000. You gotta plan for it.
Yep.
And I
Agreed.
think the community center is perfect, because it's gonna bring in other stuff to do around here. That's what communities need. You don't grow, you fail, you die.
Right. Yep.
And this town it's growing.
Sir. Okay. Okay, we still have our motion and a second to approve the 2026 Tioga City budget. Is there any more discussion on that? Okay, if not, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries. Next we got a RNT Water Board appointment. So it is time to nominate our tribute once again. Stephen, I'm assuming you're enjoying it a whole bunch.
It's a good set of people over there and just, it's not a bad thing.
Are you willing to continue it or do you want to continue doing it?
I'm willing to continue it.
Okay.
But I'll sit out of this. This is a vote for you guys, I believe.
I make a motion to approve Stephen Dye as the RNT Water Board appointment.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve Stephen Dye as our R&T Water Board appointment. Any discussion on that? Good, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Okay, motion carries. All right, last is a very lengthy consent agenda. We got bills for September 2nd, June financials, July financials, a raffle permit for the Tioga Fire and Ambulance Department, a raffle permit for the Tioga Area Dollars for Scholars, bingo permit for the Tioga Area Dollars for Scholars, Tioga Funded Community Improvement Application, that's for the Halloween party and haunted house. Planning and zoning, a building application for Perkins, a building application for Garcia, visitor promotion fund application, that's for the Halloween party and haunted house, and then lastly, the visitor promotion fund app for the farm festival.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on that? We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries, and we are on to public comment. Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about? Come on. Nobody? Right, well, it could very well be an awfully short meeting, and I appreciate that because I've been under the weather for like a week and a half and I can't shake it. I'm running out of gas here. So Kyle, you know what to do.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to adjourn. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:21 PM. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Thank you.